Listen up or run for cover. Dropping knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. The real Bradley is dropping
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, folks, do I got a real treat for you? I've invited Marian Esanu and his wife Kosmila. How do you say that? Kosmila. In to the Bomb Studios. Why? Because I wanted to chit chat with this individual. He basically helps subject matter experts, speakers, coaches, businesses, and other folks basically a lot of things, one of which is how to create high-end or high-ticket packages of services and or coaching or consulting and expertise, right? And then creating an automated sales process to sell them and market them.
100%.
Now, see, again, I have a lot of clients that could use that service. Do you know that I have over 800 subject matter expert clients like Grant Cardone, Damon John, Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, John Maxwell, Tom Hopkins. The list goes on and on and on that all want to do that. Now, a lot of them have it figured out, but if you're out there listening to this and you're thinking, what does Marian do? Well, this is what he does. He helps people basically take something from, could you go complete from concept to customer?
Yeah, so we have a couple different packages, but essentially, yeah. So for example, and we can talk we can go specific with one person if you want to, but yeah, we go from the beginning and seeing exactly, what are you an expert in? What's your expertise about? Then we have a pretty simple process, but it's really focused on never trying to reinvent the wheel. Like we always look at the biggest competitors in the game. We pretty much understand exactly what they sell, and then we package up that knowledge into, we like to call it productized services, and then we automate the whole process, and then we just launch it. We mainly, as platforms, we mainly focus on YouTube, but as a snowball effect, it goes to all the other, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the rest.
Mm-hmm. This also says that you went from a poor immigrant a few years ago. Yep. Now, when you came here, you guys came together?
Yes. Well, and I'll keep it short, but so my first contact with the United States was in 2010, just for a couple months. And then at that moment, I realized, because I saw the opportunity, I saw all the things that I could do in just a short period of time. So I was born and raised in Romania, Eastern Europe. And then when I came here for those 3 months, I literally, after 2 weeks, I called my wife and I said, babe, we got to find a way to come back here. And the reason that I was only here for a couple months, it was my visa. So I had to come back. And then 3 years later, after a lot of quote unquote fights with the kind of system, being able
Our system or your system?
Yeah, well, for example, they were not giving my wife the visa for some reason.
US of A.
Yes.
Well, don't you know we're real sticklers? And even more of a stickler now that old Trump's president. See, old Trump's like, dude, listen, if everybody wants to get in, go get in line. Now all of a sudden the lines are like a mile long. Which, and from what I hear, even if you stand in them damn lines, doesn't mean you're getting in.
We were in the line. So
but Romania, we don't have any trouble with Romania. But if you'd have been from some country we got issues with, they would have been even harder. That's the bureaucratic red tape of the USA. Don't worry about that shit. You made it here. That's the good news. Yeah.
Yeah. So then
hey, by the way, is it good news? Was it everything you thought it would be, Kosmila? Is it everything you thought it would be when you got here? Because I always like to talk to people that aren't from this country, because a lot of people, America, the land of the free, everything's possible there. I'm wondering, what's wrong with Romania, for example? What's wrong with Paris? What's wrong with France? How come people somewhere else want to come here? I don't get that.
Yeah, so I
want to go there. Shit, dude. I want to go to Norway. I keep hearing Norway's just amazing.
And I guess, we probably look at different articles and different things that the media will put out. But for example, if I go back in 2012, right? So in Romania, the economy was not that good.
So Romania isn't that strong of an economy.
It is better now. So it's definitely.
Are you near Transylvania anywhere?
We are actually from Transylvania.
See, again, so dude, you know what's big and popular there?
Like big and popular
out of Transylvania.
No,
what do you think of when you think of Transylvania?
Yeah, castles and stuff.
No.
Like that.
Huh? That's right.
Oh, Dracula. Yeah,
that's
like
right. Vampires.
Yeah. Well, the vampires, I guess, is just because of the movie.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When I think of Transylvania, I think vampire. Like if you guys said you're from Transylvania, I'd say, are you vampires? And if you said yes, I'd say, bite me. I want to be one. Would you, if vampires were real, would you be one?
Man, that's a hell of a question. Well, if that would require me to make it happen, yes.
Make what happen?
Like make a future for my family or whatever. If that was
a
required,
future, you'd never die unless you have a silver steak or something. No, that's a werewolf. We're talking about vampires here.
We're taking science fiction now, but
see, this guy's thinking, dude, why are we talking about vampires? I'm here to talk about freaking how to basically fix people's lives, and you're bringing up stupid ass vampires that probably don't even exist. Do you guys believe from Transylvania that vampires exist?
Hell no.
Good. Just double checking. We were hoping not. But so you're an immigrant, a poor immigrant story. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how you got to 7 figures. I want to talk about how you got 2 Comma Club awards with Clickfunnels. And by the way, I want to talk about Clickfunnels because sometimes I call them dick funnels. Do you know why?
Why?
Because if you don't do them right, guess what you make? Dick.
Nothing.
You get nothing. And so I call them dick funnels. Now, a lot of people think I'm making fun of ClickFunnels. I'm not making fun of ClickFunnels because guys like you used a ClickFunnel and made a lot of money. But it wasn't the ClickFunnel that made you a lot of money. It was the product. True. It was the copy. It was the Facebook marketing, the Facebook targeting, the ad buying. It's a combination of things. ClickFunnels, in and of itself, what it really did is gave you some quick best practices and it saved you a couple of days of programming. Yes or no?
100%.
That's what ClickFunnels does. That's what I keep trying to tell people. People think, oh, you're one funnel away because Russell does a magnificent way of marketing it. And he creates that whole ClickFunnel crowd. What's it called?
The funnel hacking community.
The funnel hackers. Yeah, you go up to the funnel hacking convention. It's like, dude, there's tons of people there. And guess what? Yes, you can make money using ClickFunnels, but guess what? Exchange ClickFunnels for a WordPress if you're good at them. You don't need ClickFunnels to make money. Yes or no?
Yes.
No, you guys still use ClickFunnels, by the way?
Yes, we do.
Because they're easy, right?
Yeah.
Because why not? You know it. It's easy. It works, right?
Yes, and then I also use other platforms too. It's just.
But what would you tell me if I were your customer? Because I want to try to figure out, like, again, I'll use ClickFunnels if ClickFunnels is the one to use. But is it ClickFunnels or is it copy, pricing, timing, targeting? You know, is it more or is it just a ClickFunnel? Because if you bought a ClickFunnel and ended up with nothing, that, my friend, is a dick funnel.
No, that's true.
So you didn't have a dick funnel. You actually built a ClickFunnel, which is supposed to make you a lot of money. And two commas is at least $1 million, right?
True, and it's almost like this camera here, right? Like if you can get anybody a camera, but if they don't do a good video with it, it's just a tool.
That's right.
At the end of the day, any platform, anything that we talk about is just a tool.
That's right. Damn, Marian, you're a wise man. Beyond your years, how old are you?
32.
See, you're just a young man. I've got underwear 32. No, just messing with you. I'm not actually. I'm 51, but still, you're a young man, man. You got a long way to go, but you've learned a lot so far, haven't you?
Yes. I guess the experience taught me a lot of things throughout these years, so I could say yes. Yeah.
Okay, so let's just and folks, that's a long way of saying, if you don't know who is, go check him out. He's got a story. He's built a 7-figure business. He knows how to find clients. He knows how to acquire clients in an automated way, which again, to me, is how you scale your business. If you have a business, I don't care if it's landscaping or otherwise, dude, you figure out how to scale it. You create a landing page. You do the same crap. I don't care if it's a physical business or a virtual business. It still works. I've had literally people say Facebook didn't work. I'm like, dude, Facebook works, you dipshit. There's no question. What did you do? That's the problem. Like, what did you say? Who did you target? What'd your dumbass ClickFunnel say? Well, it's supposed to say something special? Yeah, fool. There's a psychology behind it. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So you help people with that.
Correct.
Interesting. Because I might be hiring you before you leave here. Why? Dude, I'm trying to figure out what my message is. A lot of people think I'm a guru, bro. I'm not a guru. I run a tech company that I founded. Is the only reason I'm in charge and I'm running it. It's not because I'm techie. It's because I invented it. I founded it. I didn't invent it. I envisioned it and someone else built it. And now it's Lightspeed. So I shouldn't even be here, but I'm a tech CEO. Everyone thinks I'm an influencer because of my social media. Everyone thinks like I'm the people you're describing here. Am I an author? Yeah, I got a book coming out. It's not out yet. Does that make me an author?
If it's written, yeah, I
guess. It's not fully written, but I did author a Real Deal Lease presentation that's trained in car dealerships across the country. So that's an author technically. So I'm an author. I am a speaker. I go out and do keynote keynote engagements. I said speaks because I never say speaking. I'm not a speaker. I'm more of a talker. Like I'll walk out on stage and talk to the audience for an hour. I don't have a speech. I have a story. Like I'll have a whole story. So I'm a speaker. Okay. I'm a coach a little bit. I coach employees. I coach my kids. I coach people. And I'm a thought leader. So I'm a perfect target for you. Am I not?
Yes.
Okay. So let me use me as the example. If you've struggled with putting the right message in front of the right audience, making a true impact. See, I've made an impact, I believe, just with free social media. I think we're making impact right now with this dropping bombs. So I have no problem making impact. The right message. Let's talk about that. Like, what is the right message? How do you come along and help somebody identify their message?
So first, we always look at what is the big problem that either the service, the product, or in this scenario, it's an app or software solving for people, right? And then if we don't know exactly what that problem is, we start doing a little research. So I use a tool called Keywords Everywhere, and it's free. Everybody can use it. You install it's a Google Chrome extension. And then you start looking on YouTube, you start looking on Google.
It's called Keywords Everywhere?
Keywords Everywhere. Yeah, it's a Google Chrome extension. People install it. It's free to install. I think I pay, $10 a month to get credits to be able to get as many searches as you want. So for like $10, you get.
What does it do? Just find the best keywords to find things? What?
And it tells you exactly how many searches a month a key phrase, a keyword gets on all these platforms. Mainly YouTube and Google. I mean, yeah, it does track Amazon and eBay and a bunch of others, but we focus on YouTube and Google. That's in the scenario if we don't know what's the biggest problem that you solve or the software solves, right? So then we start looking at that. Then once we identify, like, okay, we know, we make a list of, let's say, 20 keywords or 20 phrases that get at least 1,000 searches a month. The reason for that is if people are not, and again, if I think of something that is a small problem, you may still target that keyword. So for example, right, if I'm doing client acquisition for customers, a smaller problem can be, hey, I can help you with your Facebook ads, I can help you with your Google ads, I can help you with your YouTube ads. Those are small little problems, but they're still part of the big picture that whatever the service or the product is solving for people, right? So then we make a list of at least 20 of these key phrases. And then we look at competitors. Number one is we use YouTube. So we look at who are the influencers that rank for those keywords and what are they talking about, right? So if your software competes, let's assume with Clickfunnels, we'll look at what Russell Brunson is talking about because he's the owner of Clickfunnels. He's the co-founder of it. So we look at Russell Brunson's YouTube channel and we see exactly what is he talking about. And then ideally we want a minimum of 10 biggest influencers that are competitors of yours, right? So for example, Russell,
but Clickfunnels ain't a competitor of mine.
No, I was just putting as an example. not necessarily ClickFunnels as a platform, but the person itself, like, Russell, or let's assume Grant Cardone is another competitor of yours, right?
No, he's not. He's a client of mine.
All right, cool. So then let's take it a step deeper. Do we know the competitors?
Who of mine?
Yeah.
Sure. But it's not a person. It would be more like a platform, like a technology, like an offering. Like, again, if I'm trying to get Grant Cardone to use my system versus someone else, they would say that, like, for example, a Kajabi.
Okay.
Or a I forget the other one's name, but Kajabi is usually the one where people are doing courses, so they just use a Kajabi. Why? Because it's easy.
Or Teachable.
Or any of those. Those would be competitors.
Got it.
Technically.
Okay.
They're not really, but let's say they are.
In theory, yeah.
Grant's not a competitor. He's a client. Subject matter experts are not competitors. They're clients.
I get it. Okay, perfect. So then we look at, we type in Kajabi, and then we see what people are searching, having Kajabi in the phrase. How to use Kajabi, how to boom, 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 how to make a course in Kajabi. And then we create usually four different video ads, and then we target whatever they search for.
Yeah, but you know what's funny is people are doing that to me. Like, if you go type in certain things, if you type in Lightspeed, other platforms use people searching for me to find them.
Exactly. So, but they do that because it works.
I know, but we just send them a letter, then they can't because we're trademarked and copyrighted, all legal like. So they can't say my name. They can't say certain things. I got certain shit taken down. Only because I'm protected, though. If I wasn't protected and I couldn't prove that that's trademarked and copyrighted, they would have been able to do it.
Got it. Okay, so let's put that out of the equation. So they're not allowed to say that in the video, but targeting the keyword itself,
sure,
it's still possible because it's public information. Not being able to say, how to use Lightspeed or how to
No, I get what you're saying. You're right. You're right. So you target the keywords, you look at the competitors, you see how they're ranking and what they're saying.
Exactly. And then we create usually 4 different video ads around, and then this is just value building ad with a call to action at the end. So having your credibility, you recording the video and then talking how people can create courses or how people can put their information into info products and things like that. And at the end, you'll just say, and by the way, guys, if you like to learn how to get this done, properly, just book a call and talk to somebody in my team. And below the video will be just a big blue button that will book a call. Now, the power of these ads is we place them in front of the videos that these big players have, right? So for example, and then on top of that, and we'll get into that even deeper if you want, before somebody watches a tutorial, if you can put your message educating the consumer of what's being possible to do, and then just invite them to book a call with somebody in your team or maybe watch a webinar, whatever it is, that's just, it's a whole different level than just targeting, call traffic on Facebook or Instagram. Another super powerful thing is you can literally target, like if you know that Teachable is a competitor, or Kajabi or OnSupport, because now they do membership sites too, you can literally target, this is almost illegal, but you can literally target people that have been on their sites without you having a pixel installed. But Google AdWords have an option and they allow you to do that. Like if because most likely they have Google Analytics installed on their site because they're big brands, you are able to retarget them. So it's almost an illegal scenario in my opinion. It's almost like you having your Facebook pixel or a Google ad or a Google Pixel installed on their pages, and you being able to retarget them with different messages, and then just invite them to book a call.
Gee, now if we just stopped talking right now and I ended it right there, you just gave away $1 billion idea. Why is that? Well, because it's knowledge, it's experience. So that's the type of things you teach people.
Correct.
Interesting. So again, back to the right message.
Yeah. So
because
that's
again, I'm struggling with who am I? Like, if, for example, sales and closing, which would make someone think Grant Cardone's a competitor. I only did that to show people how to use a Lightspeed platform to make money easily. And I knew sales and closing because I used to be a sales and closing trainer. That's how I close Grant and everybody else that's on the platform. So it's almost like I'm not really a sales and closing trainer anymore. Does that make sense?
it does. And
So
that
what's
has
my
nothing-
message? Who am I?
So that's why we create at least 4 videos in each of those campaigns. So if we target a phrase, or if we target, let's say, 10 different key phrases around Kajabi, well, we create 4 videos just for that. And then people will just look at the data. 1 out of those 4 will outperform the rest. And then the other that just don't perform, we stop them. And then we put more money into the one that works. So that's how you
You ever
identify.
try 4 more?
Yeah, sometimes, those 4 may not work, and then we just create more. But a lot of times it's also like, all right, let's see what's the amount of impressions that, YouTube will allow you to target. Because, for example, if you do 10 different keywords and you only get, let's say, 10 million impressions, you may not need more than 4 videos, because if none of those 4 convert, well, you may need to just go to another keyword. It means that people that are searching for that, they're just not ready for this yet. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So then we take it to like every single key phrase. So it's a lot of work into it, right? Like you create 4 different videos. Like if we think of 20 different key phrases, all of a sudden you got like 80 different videos. Yeah, they're only 2, 3, 4 minute long. They're not that long. But that's how you identify the message without thinking like, hey, what is the right message for my audience? And then so it's one way to try to sell the software. And then it's another thing to try to sell Closer School. That's a different audience. Those are different keywords, different phrases that we would target, different influencers that we would.
What if you didn't have to target that? What if the page itself could find out when they visited? What if you could just drive mass traffic and your page starts to ask the questions? Your page starts to filter
like a
them.
quiz,
like an interactive video that pops up and says, hey, are you more this or are you more that? You looking for this? You looking for that? And then I sift those people out rather than try to target them.
But that's if they get on the page. So for example, when I say 1 out of those 4 will outperform, meaning people would actually click on the ad instead of skipping it. The beauty of this is you only pay if they watch 30 seconds on YouTube. If they don't watch 30 seconds, you still get the benefit of branding, your face and all that. But if they skip, you don't get charged, so you don't care.
Is that how YouTube works?
On the ad platform, yes.
So I could go put an ad for Brad Lee, just a branding ad. I just want to be seen. My name's Brad Lee, everybody, and I'm in my garage too. Except I'm not reading books. I'm smoking doobies. No, I'm joking. But if I did that in front of every YouTube video, I would only get charged if they watched it for more than 30 seconds.
Correct.
So how long does it have to be? Why don't I just make it for 29 seconds and I get free advertising?
I know this question comes a lot, but it doesn't work that way. Like they'll figure out a way to charge you for that because it won't be.
I know, but I've been wanting to go with YouTube. Are you my guy? Maybe that's why you're here on Dropping Bombs. Other than I wanted people to hear your story and listen to these marketing techniques, because I think marketing's the key to everything. So like, for example, if you were good, not that you aren't, but I've never used you. So I can't say, oh dude, I know Marian, man, he'll kill it. Again, if you kill it for me, be a different show altogether.
Yeah. So we also need to understand what are you trying to do? If you're trying to go just for the branding, that's one thing. If you're trying to get leads for your salespeople to sell the software, it'll be both.
Yeah,
okay,
because branding is a long-term thing. Like branding is how many, like for example, I keep telling people this. If I could afford, which I cannot, to have every person that watches a YouTube video for 30 days straight to see my face and brand every day for 30 days. So come March, any YouTube video is going to throw me, the scrollers, the sidebars, all of it's going to say Bradley is going to pop up.
That's possible.
I would be world known in a week. Everybody would say, oh, that's the guy that keeps talking about his freaking cat. Or, hey, that's the guy that's here in my garage. I reference that. Ty Lopez. You've heard of Ty Lopez.
100%.
Yeah, because dude, he popped up every time you went to YouTube for anything. So to me, when people ask, and by the way, I mean, I've talked to him a few times. It may be more to it, but to me, Ty Lopez used YouTube to get famous. Now, Grant Cardone, he used YouTube to get famous. He used Instagram, Periscope. Remember Periscope? He used it all to get famous, social media, to get famous. So once you get famous, then of course all your campaigns are easy. Not easy, but still easier. So if I have to build a brand, that is not selling a product or getting a lead. That is building a brand. That's a branding thing. It takes longer, right?
Yeah. So right before I came here, I looked a little bit at the YouTube channel. And
Mine?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, nobody manages it. Nobody does anything. I just slap shit in there, as you can see.
But what I was thinking is, like, you have all these insane cool guests on your show. Like, you had Ed Milet, you had Grant Cardone as a guest here on the show. Your interview with those people should pop up every time when somebody watches an Ed Milet show, an Ed Milet video, a Grant Cardone's video. Your video should always be suggested right next to it. Now, there are two things to this. It's the organic part, where a good friend of mine, Evan Carmichael, he's like the killer of this.
Sure.
But on the ad platform, we can literally run an ad with an unlisted video, so it doesn't affect you, against Ed Milet's channel. Like, you have an interview with Ed Milet, an interview with Andy Frisella, an interview with Grant Cardone. All those, like, they have like hundreds. Grant, I think, has 1.5 million subscribers. All those should watch your video with Grant. Like, it's no excuse for that not to be on the channel.
Yeah.
And you can do that. Like, we have ways, like, for example,
so
from
Nicole
branding.
Arbor, I can go target Nicole Arbor's audience.
Yeah.
And then what would I do that for?
So that would be, right here we were talking about the branding part. So everybody that watches a video of her on her channel, if you had an interview with her, your interview should pop up the right.
Yeah, but what's the benefit of that?
Everybody
so all
on
Nicole's
that channel
fans
will watch.
see me.
Well, yeah, but then now, if we think about it, maybe Nicole's fans would not necessarily be your ideal subscribers, right?
Right.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
Go team.
Yeah, but Grant Cardone's subscribers should definitely be on your channel. Ed Milet's subscribers should definitely be on yours, right? So you can do that, and we can target literally every single video of one person's channel, as long as you had an interview with them, because that's just a little better to do it. If you don't have an interview,
when it's legit. Like, in other words, don't be sneaky and just use all their key tags or they'll bust you. But if you had a legitimate conversation or you're in a video with them, you can tag them all you want.
And not just tag
them.
and
target.
Yeah, target their channels. Like, you can literally target Ed Milet's channel on YouTube.
Yeah, and again, I'm not their competitor, so I wouldn't know why I would want to do that, other than, hey, if you like Ed, you might like Brad. Well, that's not necessarily true, because if you like Brad, you'll definitely like Ed. But if you like Ed, you may not like Brad still. Okay, so I wouldn't target Ed's people, only because, what's the purpose? Now, if I had a message, see, I'm still back to this message thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I knew my message, well, now to me, it's time to target people. The reason why I don't really market much, if you'll notice, that's why you look at my page like he's not doing anything. Well, that's because I really need to figure out what it is I want to say before I get a bunch of attention. Too many people are out there wanting the attention, and then when they get it, they have nothing to say, and then they lose it. See what I'm saying?
I get that, but again, we're talking about two different messages.
I know, but this is the right message. Do you help thought leaders like create their message and create their branding and all that, or you're just helping them with the tacticals, like placing the ad and writing the copy and placing the video and targeting the words and doing that?
No, we actually work on the script too, because I can't just say, hey, create 4 videos and then what? Because if you send me 4 videos that I don't like, or I know that, I shouldn't say I know, because sometimes, and a lot of times, I may say this one may outperform the other one, but then you look at it and you say like, oh crap, that one actually doesn't work, and then the one that I thought it's not going to perform is just outperforming everyone.
Crazy.
So we never assume things. We always look at the data. If it works, you just do more of that.
Now, I'll put a bomb there, but not because you said never assume, because I teach people you should always assume. Now, if you have data, that's better than assuming. I will agree. And you have data. So what you basically said, we don't assume, we have got the data. But if you don't have data, folks, and you're trying to build a business and you don't have the data, either get it or assume. You ever heard the lesson in life, never assume?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, it's an American saying, I think. I don't know who invented it, but someone says, never assume because you'll make an ass out of you and me. See how that
That's
works?
powerful, but yeah.
Like if I search
assume,
word,
like you type it.
Yeah, so that's what they say, never assume. But again, this is just bad information. You should always assume. I can assume the sale. I can assume that you want to do business with me. I can assume that you can assume some things. Yeah. And I think people should. Anyway, that was just a side note, but
the right message.
Your business is called what? Get My Momentum?
No, so that's the new URL. Yeah, that's the new URL. So by the time that this interview is live, it's going to be live.
Yeah, but you never know. It might be live tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you never know. So let's just pretend that it's going live tomorrow. It's still, and it won't be, by the way, but it's still getmymomentum.com is where you want these listeners to find you.
Correct.
Okay, because right now people are thinking, dude, who is this dude? I need to find him. I need this for my business. And I want to make sure that I tell them quickly, because people may not listen to the whole thing, where to find you. Getmymomentum.com, right?
Or if whatever the platform that they are listening to this episode right now, they can go and either type in my name or type in Momentum Podcast and they'll find it.
Because you do this for yourself.
Correct.
That's right. See, and I'm already thinking in my mind, damn, dude, I got to figure out what your rates are, because what I want to do is turn it over to somebody. Meaning, dude, I'll give you passwords to my YouTube channel, but if you have passwords to my YouTube channel, that means you have passwords to my damn email, which means now I got to make you like an admin to my YouTube channel, and then you run it for me. And my only thought is the process. Why? Because I have a lot of things going on. Like, you see cameras following me around. There might be 8 hours. Someone goes through and finds a couple good minutes to post on Instagram, but there's also a lot of content in there we don't use. Well, I want to reuse it for YouTube, because I think YouTube is a very powerful search engine. People type in how to close deals, and Grant shows up and I don't. That's a problem if I'm trying to compete with Grant and his sales training. Yep. So if I'm listening to this episode, that's why it matters, because me and Grant aren't competitors. You buy Grant, I get a little love from that action. So I don't care if you buy Grant, you buy mine, just buy somebody's, right? Buy somebody's, preferably on a Lightspeed system, because that shows people that you care. Because again, all these other ones, these Kajabis, dude, it's a hosting solution. It makes it easy for you to host and sell a video. It does not make sure that the user understands it, learns it, can implement it. It doesn't track, measure, monitor in real time. It's not a learning technology. It's a hosting solution. So at the end of the day, there's two different things. People wouldn't know that though. Just people wouldn't know that. Point being is, if you have a ClickFunnel or a what's the other one called? Builderall or Lead Pages or
yeah, there are like a lot of them.
And they're popping up.
Pages, yeah.
Carta,
yeah, it's another one.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you use Carta or ClickFunnels. That's a preference. It's a tool, folks. The fact is do you know that you can go into YouTube and target your competitors' keywords to where you show up every time they show up, or anytime they're searched for, which you would want to show up for in your competitors, period. Do you know how to do that? Because if you don't, that's where you would call Marian, right?
100%.
And that's what you do for a living.
Yes.
Now tell me, you came here poor. Let's talk straight up a few minutes on entrepreneurial challenges to see if we can drop some bombs on shit that happened. So you came here poor, right? Now you made 7 figures, 2 Comma Club with the ClickFunnel gang, thanks to your ability to generate high-end clients for your business and your clients' businesses. So tell me about that story.
Yeah, so I'll try to keep it, short. I hear a lot of stories about, being poor and all that. I literally had to borrow. Like, I was 22 at the time-ish. So I borrowed about $2,000. That it cost me about $1,000 to buy the plane ticket. And then I had another $1,000, $700 I think I paid for rent. I was living with another 5 roommates. And I literally came here with a labor contract. So I was working in a moving and storage company, just 13, 14-hour days, carrying furniture on my back every single day for probably 2.5 years.
Dude, I hate that shit, by the way. You know what I do to help people move? Pitch in some money, because I'm hiring movers.
Well, at that time, I had like zero
Yeah, but thank God you existed because, dude, I hate moving my house. That would be a bullshit job, by the way. You had to move homes and shit all day.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, that's hard work.
7 days a week, literally, like no bullshit at all. That's what I did for like 2.5 years straight. And then my wife right here, she was working in a cleaning company and then in a restaurant. So she had like 2 jobs. So both of us, that's why we knew like it would like the only, like, again, and I talk about this in my podcast too, the goals can change. My first 3-month goal was to be able to get a social security number to be able to work. So I know, we talk about entrepreneurial things and all that. A lot of times having the ability to get a job, that's what you are in your life at the moment, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
That's right.
Now,
that's right, by the way. I want everyone to understand that. That is 100% correct. Everybody thinks because you don't have a jet and you're not freaking balling out of control and you don't have the Ferraris and you don't have the kick-ass watches that you're a loser. And that's not necessarily true, dude. I call them momentary retreats. Like I was just talking to someone earlier. At one point in time during Lightspeed's history, I literally went and got a job at a car dealership to make enough money to pay Lightspeed's bills, or Lightspeed would not be in business.
There you go. And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
It's a momentary retreat.
Exactly.
I didn't stop. I didn't give up. But sometimes when you need money, guess what, bitch? You go get a job. And I needed money. And dude, I couldn't make Lightspeed make enough timing, whatever the case was. I invented that shit early. So I went and got a car job just to pay bills. That's a momentary retreat. And I highly recommend them sometimes. So the labor and the hard work you guys were willing to do when you got here was because you needed money quickly, and you knew when you came here, you had a couple $1,000, and when it ran out, you were screwed.
I didn't have a couple thousand. I had a loan that I had to pay back in my home country for $2,000 to be able to come here.
Yeah, but they're in Romania, dude. How are they going to come here and get it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a family friend. But
I'm joking. Dude, I'm all about ethics. Like, you borrow money, pay the shit back.
Yeah. So then,
even if it's in Romania and they're never going to catch you again.
No, but to this day, I'm grateful to that friend of my mom, because she was lending me that money without knowing, like, hey, is this guy ever coming back and pay me back?
So you borrowed $2,000 to get here. You spent $1,000 on a plane ticket, $700 on rent, which, by the way, that's even hard as hell right there. Now you had $300 left.
Yeah, and then
now you came with him or no?
Yeah, she was. No.
You both came together, or you came first?
I came first for almost a year, for 10 months.
And got set up and dialed in?
Yeah.
And then called for the wife?
No, actually, I had to go back, because remember, she wasn't getting the visa.
Oh, yeah, you weren't being allowed in. Dude, that would suck. But you could come visit.
No.
They wouldn't even let you visit?
No.
I thought anyone could visit U.S. Visit. No?
No. It wasn't.
They refused you to visit?
Yeah, it's different. So I was on a working visa. She was trying to visit me. They were like, no, you can't until he's back. And then
because they don't want you to be tricky, and then all of a sudden you're both here, and then now you refuse to leave.
Yeah, so I get that, and it makes sense, right? Like, it's not.
They're looking out for scammers.
Yeah. So, but then when I went back, they had no problem with us, both coming back. So then,
now hold on. When you went back, did you have a place here? You went to say, "Come on."
No. We had to give the lease was for like 10 months. So then that was it. And then when we got back in 2013,
not we, you came here first, right?
Yeah, and then in 2013 we both came.
Right. So then you went back to get her, or you went back and had to come back and start all over because your lease was up and everything. You had to start
all over again. Yeah, it was completely from scratch.
And so that's when you had this working job, cleaning shit, which was a bullshit job, wasn't it? So you guys can't hear her, but she said she was working at a restaurant, cleaning for about years, and you were moving for years.
Yeah, but she's my true inspiration, because she was not able to speak a word of English. Like, she was not able to, because
Is that tough?
French. And I applied for a job for her, and I had to go and explain.
And were you speaking Romanian?
Between us, yeah.
Well, thankfully though, you had someone that was here that could.
Yeah. So then,
Because imagine coming here and not knowing a word at all. It's very hard to communicate. Was there any? How long ago was this? Because right now there's like translation tools where, like, if I go to any foreign country where I don't know the language, which is all of them, I go to my app.
Yeah, Google Translate wasn't a thing back then, 2013. Yeah.
So you were just basically stranded half the time. How did you get it? How did you get a job though?
I applied. So I literally applied on Craigslist for a job, and I went with her at the interview, and I started to talk to the manager, and he was like, "No, get out of here. I need to talk to her." I'm like, "You won't be able to have a conversation. Like, I need to be here." And then she was like, the manager was a lady that owned a small little kind of hamburger fast food shop. And she said, as long as she can explain with like hands pointing different things, I need hardworking people.
Yeah, but that's even extra hard because, dude, if I'm an employer, it's hard giving someone that can't communicate a freaking job where you need to communicate. So it's like, dude, that's even twice as hard as coming here getting a job. Come here, get a job without speaking the language. That is 10 times harder, isn't it?
It was, yeah.
Look at that. But you spoke English when you came?
Yeah.
All right. So, and I don't want to run out of time, but so you basically worked hard because you needed money quick, and you knew you got to have money to stay here.
Yeah. So that was another thing. Because of the way that the whole kind of immigration paperwork was set up, we had to renew our paperwork every 6 months. So we were spending $4,000 to $5,000 on lawyers every 6 months.
Damn.
And then I hate to say the word lucky, but United States has a program. It's called DV Lottery. So if you
called what?
DV Lottery, like Diversity Visa Lottery. So every year, 50,000 people get the chance to apply to live and work in the United States. So what happened was, after 7 years, I applied every single year. So this year I get selected, not elected. But what happened was, the previous paperwork got declined because of some, I don't know, it was a deadline that the lawyer missed. And we got a letter in the mail saying that we have to leave the country in 7 days or we become illegal.
Dude.
So
I can't even imagine this shit.
Yeah. So I kind of fast forward a little bit, because at that time I already started my first local brick and mortar shop. It was a business transporting fitness equipment. And that company started it went from zero to like $700K in a couple of months, probably like 9-10 months.
Now, what if they'd have forced you to leave?
I had to leave. Like, we packed and left.
So you hired a manager?
So a really good friend of mine became my partner in that business. And he was running it while I was gone. We were gone for like 7 months. So that's when I understood. Like, at that moment, I read everything that I could on sales and mark. Like, I was like, that hit me so bad, and I understood, like, damn, I cannot be tied up to one place. I have to make something out of my life to be able to work from wherever I want, if I want. And number two, I didn't want to put her in the same experience that we had to. Like, we literally packed. Like, we got the letter in the morning at 8 a.m. I remember to this day, it was February 3rd. And we left on the 4th. Like, we packed everything up. Like, the lease, we had to, like, we lost money on the lease, of course, and all that, because we have to leave for like 6 months. So when I came back, the company actually grew. It was almost probably like 70%, because I was living on US time. Like, I was still taking all the sales over the phone, and I was managing all the marketing campaigns. That's how I learned all marketing, and I went deep into everything that I could learn. And then when I went back, I started to change things to kind of go my way.
See, so you just got her done.
I had to. Like, I had no, like I said
How
to
long
myself,
did that take you think, to learn all that?
So I was taking sales calls and doing everything from probably 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I was spending probably like an hour in the gym. And every night, probably like until midnight, I was just taking courses and applying and then spending my own money. And then,
yeah, how long did that take you? Over a course of what?
Probably like a year.
See, so it took you a year of a lot of time and practice and money, learning and investing and tweaking and testing how to market and set up automated things and all the keywords, right? So you did it, you learned it. So
I had to.
Now if I were to say, okay, go do it for me, how much would you charge me roughly?
So it all depends on what exactly we're looking at. But
I just want you to manage my YouTube channel and drive a bunch of leads and build my brand and kind of do a little double approach.
Yeah, so it's usually about $3,000 a month
Now, go ahead.
in recurring. Like, for example, that would include up to like 10 campaigns.
That's handling it.
Yeah, handle it all, putting all the script in there, and then it's a one-time thing where we have to set up with either the team or somebody to go through all the things that
Kind of onboard you.
Yeah, the onboarding process.
Yeah.
But that's usually what it is.
Yeah. So again, folks, if you're paying attention, would you rather spend a year and a bunch of money learning on your own? Or would you rather just hire someone that already did it and can get you the results? Because I tell you that most people would literally say the first. Why? Well, would you know what the first one was? Again, would you rather
do it yourself or learn? And again,
a lot of people are thinking, well, shit, dude, this is good information. I'm just going to go do it myself. Guess what? I get experts all the time telling me how they do all kinds of crap. And the first thing I say is, how much to do it for me? And then people are always like, well, dude, they just told you how to do it. Yeah, but dude, sometimes doing it is less valuable than just having it done and the results done for you. Because if you could generate, for example, a bunch of leads for me, it's so worth $3,000 a month. You don't take any commission or anything?
It all depends on what type of campaigns we're doing. Are we doing just the branding campaigns? Are we doing, right? Because at some point, if we focus just on the leads itself, after, let's say you're spending, let's assume $15,000 in ad budget per month. Well, once you cross that, we also have a small commission on the kind of on the lead structure.
Nice.
But before that, no. We do all to make sure that we deliver enough value. Because if, we also, before we even start generating the leads, we have to understand, what are you selling? What's the price point? Let's maybe work on the offer a little bit before we even launch the leads, right? Because everybody can get leads, but if you don't get customers out of it, it's a little bit of a...
Who would you say is the best in the world at digital marketing?
I learned a lot of what I know now from Billie Jean.
Oh, Billie Jean is marketing, huh?
So I learned, he was my first mentor. I went probably, I'm trying to remember now, it was 2015, 16, something like that when I bought his first course. Then I went a little deeper and get into their coaching program. But yeah, I learned from him most of the things that I know. Yeah. Most of the things
do they all work?
Again, it's all testing. Like, I could sit here and say everything works, but then we tested and realized that only one thing worked. I'm always about looking at the data. Whatever works, we do more. Whatever doesn't work, we just stop it, and that's it.
Yeah, but testing is important. Yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting. And by the way, if you guys want to follow him, at Marian, Marian, V, as in Victor, Esanu, Esanu. Then obviously you can also just Google him because you're everywhere, huh?
100%.
You have videos online, I imagine.
Yeah.
So you're doing all this for yourself, and that's how you're, traveling the world, finding these customers, helping people transform their life, especially speakers, authors, and coaches with something to say.
Correct.
So you need to make sure that you always show them how to use Lightspeed, because that would make you a Lightspeed Army affiliate. Because if you're helping me do this, what product am I selling?
Exactly. So that's what we do first before we even talk about the campaigns. What are we selling? Is it the software? Okay, so let's take it even a step deeper.
Is it a book?
Is it a monthly recurring thing? Is it a 1-year package? Can we package it up with maybe some coaching on how to use it, maybe with some done with you type of? Can we package that up into something?
So you help them think up the whole business model?
Yes. Before we even jump into the campaigns, we do that first. And then we talk about the actual, all right, let's get traffic now.
I might be able to help you because, again, I don't know if you know this, but I have a ton of subject matter experts using Lightspeed, and they all are interested in growing and scaling their sales and their brand awareness and their audience and their reach. So if you can do it well Well, then, shit, I can get you more customers than you can handle.
Let's do it.
The question is can you do it well? Now, do you know how I normally figure out whether people can do it well or not? I let them do it.
Let's go.
So after we get off this, let's chat real quick on how that looks. Because I'll hire you for a minute, see if you can do it. Well, again, do what is still need to be defined because we're just randomly chit-chatting. But, dude, I'll give you a chance. Why? Because I need someone to manage that shit that knows what they're doing. And I don't need to learn it if I'm never going to do it. Guess what?
True.
Someone here might need to learn it, but what if I just use you permanently? Isn't that possible?
Yeah.
Then I never need to learn it. But then I'm also relying on you. So do you have a virtual course or no?
So we have a done with you program, but essentially we are upfront. Like, for example, I know a lot of agencies have the model of they just do it and they keep everything secret. No, like if we usually advise, like if it's a person, like you, no, let's assign somebody in your team that we can chat with every single week and tell them, what are the things that need to be improved. Maybe I need another video. I can't just always, for example, message you and say, Brad, I need another 4 videos or whatever. No, I would stay in touch with somebody in your team or somebody in my team will stay in touch with them. So we always advise somebody, no, like everything that's being done, you see, you get a report and everything is transparent.
So now, how long have you guys been here?
In the States?
Yeah.
So 2012, 8 years.
So is everything, are you allowed just to stay now, or is everything perfect?
Yeah, next year we're getting the citizenship, so yeah.
No shit.
Good.
Now that's awesome, yeah?
Yeah.
So are you making 7 figures every year?
Yeah, in sales, yeah.
Just automated or a lot of labor?
No, we have
do you have masterminds and stuff too?
I don't have a mastermind yet.
What about like weekly calls?
Yeah, that's what we have in the Done With You program, where a lot of people will just come here will come on the live call. It's a 10-week accelerator program. In 10 weeks, they pretty much learn, but they do it themselves. We hand them, some funnels. We hand them the scripts. We hand them different things, like, for example, Canva templates that they can use for all their stuff. We advise them on what to say in the videos, but everything they just do it themselves. So that's usually our kind of most popular program now.
Interesting. Folks, again, I want to just keep you here for a little longer, but I know I can't. I want to have you back next time you're in Las Vegas, but I want to dig a little bit more into the, like, how'd you get past all because you must have had a million challenges in the last 8 years here in the United States. Running out of money? Did you ever run out of money?
I don't think. Well, depend what that means, right?
Like went hungry.
I was always hungry. I was always hungry to get more. So, like, for example, and my wife is usually just all the time like, can you stop trying to go off? Like, for example, 2 years ago, I started investing in real estate, and she was like, oh no, another thing. So I'm always trying to find ways to build my long-term wealth. But to answer your question, running out of money, not from when I realized that I'm responsible. Like, I can always, like, worst case scenario, doesn't matter what happens. I can with the skills that I have now, let's say, God forbid, something happens and the business is just not working or whatever. I'm not afraid to start from scratch. I'm always ready to start from zero again.
And by the way, I've been forgetting to drop bombs. There's been way more than that, but that's a big bomb right there. I said it the other day about myself. Everyone was like, dude, how did you do it? And I'm like, do what? Well, you built this big old company, you were working, and then you quit your job. That's scary. How did you do it? And I'm like, dude, I started broke, and I've never been afraid to be broke again. So I do things that are considered more risky, I guess, because I'm not afraid of being broke either. I started that way, and if I have to, I'll start over that way. But at the end of the day, we're going to end up, in my opinion, successful. The question is what is success? Real success? Well, only the individual can tell you that, because what might be my idea isn't yours. I want to live in Vegas and Nashville. Is that successful to you? You might be like, hell no. I want to live here and here. So what does the perfect idea look like? What does the perfect life look like? What is a whole life look like to you?
Great question. So I guess both of us, me and my wife, we love to travel. I would say ideally, and then our parents are still back in Romania, so they come to travel here every year. Ideally, we would travel probably every month in a place. But I guess after what I realized that this country offered me so much and offered me the opportunity, most of all, I would say I would leave. I don't know if Boston is where I would live. Probably not, because of the weather, I guess. But ideally, I would have a home here, a home next to my parents. Well, probably they'll move here in a couple of years anyway. And then one in Aruba. That's my favorite spot.
Aruba, huh?
Yeah.
That's one place I have not been. Have you been?
Oh, multiple
You guys
times.
go there every year?
Yeah, now, yeah.
If I said, tell the bomb squad one thing that if you could impart knowledge on anyone listening, what would be the most valuable thing you could tell them to avoid pain, challenges, suffering, or delay?
Always try to make it happen, even if somebody's telling you that's not possible. I've heard that so many times in the last 8 years, and I had to face it. Doesn't matter what any other, and to be honest, doesn't matter where you're coming from, doesn't matter what language you speak. The opportunity is there. You just have to try it. And if you never try, you'll never be able to understand.
All right, folks, you heard it. Now listen, I'm going to have him back, so stay tuned. If you guys want to follow him, look him up on Instagram, Marian V as in Victor, Esanu, E-S-A-N-U. You can go to getmymomentum.com and check him out. You can go and Google him, go to YouTube, search him, or search any of his competitors. Who are you? Well, I won't make you list your competitors like you did mine. See, what's funny is I don't care if people know my competitors because they're not really competitors. If you're listening to me about my competitors, well, I'll be happy to introduce you to any of my competitors. Why? Well, because they're not competitors. That's why. Like if you heard it from me. See, the problem is if someone doesn't know who you are. Like, in other words, if I could figure out a way to target, like you were talking about earlier, my competitors to where they never would have known of me, like my competitors better worry that they know of me, not vice versa. I could care less. If you know about Lightspeed, I don't care if you know about the rest of them. Do you know why? Because then they're not going to compare. Like there's no contest. I'll tell you all to go check all my competitors. I'll give you a whole list of them, and you'll be right back at my door. Because Lightspeed is a learning technology to help you learn, and I got 20 years experience, and the rest of them are hosting solutions. They don't care. It's not the same thing. So when you're ready to scale this business, you let me know. You know why? Because when I'm listening to you, dude, it's like I'm thinking in my head, where's your course? I can't buy your course because if you taught me how to do all this myself, all you're teaching me is how bad I need your services. It's just like washing cars the other day. I'll end it with this. The other day I'm thinking, man, I want to wash my car. By the time I got done washing my car, I thought, holy crap, that car wash is a good deal. Isn't it?
True.
Well, they don't do it as good. They don't wipe off all the water droplets. Dude, kiss my ass. Like, I would much rather use a car wash than wash it myself nowadays. If I want it done better, find a better car wash. If I want it done better, find a car wash and then finish up for them or tip them extra to wipe off all the drips. But to leverage someone else's time to, as Tony Robbins likes to say, condense decades into days, then I'd recommend you go find Marian. Marian, thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you guys enjoy Vegas while you're here. Folks, Bomb Squad, listen up. Share this out. Somebody might need to know. And as always, keep it real.